Hello friends! Today we'll see how the actors of trilogy The Lord of the Rings has changed. See how they look after almost 20 years. This trilogy awarded 17 Oscars, the highest grossing film series of all time, with $3 billion in worldwide receipts. Frodo Baggins, Elijah Wood, is a hobbit of the Shire who inherits the One Ring from his 99-year-old uncle Bilbo Baggins and undertakes the quest to destroy it in the fires of Mount Doom in Mordor. He was a ring bearer. Galadriel, Kate Blanchett. She was in the woods of Lothlorien. She was one of the greatest of the elves in Middle-earth, surpassing nearly all others in beauty, knowledge, and power. She wore Nenya, one of the 3 elven rings of power. Aragorn, Viggo Mortensen, was a ranger of the North first. He was eventually revealed to be the heir of Isildur, King of Gondor. He was a confidant of Gandalf and part of the quest to destroy the One Ring and defeat the Dark Lord Sauron. Boromir, Sean Bean, was a valiant warrior known in Gondor for his greatness, having already achieved great merit in Gondor prior to the Council of Elrond. He is the eldest son of Denethor II, who was steward of Gondor during the War of the Ring. Gandalf the Grey, Ian McKellen, later known as Gandalf the White, was a wizard sent to Middle-earth in the Third Age to combat the threat of Sauron. He joined Thorin and his company to reclaim the Lonely Mountain from Smaug. Legolas, Orlando Bloom, was a Sindarin elf who was part of the Fellowship of the Ring in the Third Age. He was a miraculous prince and messenger. Thanks to his sharp vision and sensitive hearing, he was an excellent archer. Samwise Gamgee, known as Sam, Sean Austin, was a hobbit of the Shire. He was Frodo Baggins' gardener and best friend. Sam proved himself to be Frodo's closest and most dependable companion, the most loyal of the Fellowship of the Ring. Mahur, Robin Magasiva, was an Uruk-hai of Isengard in the late Third Age during the War of the Ring. Mahur was sent to reinforce Ugluk and the Uruk-hai scouts as they returned to Isengard with Merry and Pippin. Grima Wormtongue, Brad Dourif, was the chief advisor to King Theoden and Rohan before being exposed as an agent and spy of Saruman. He ends up being the killer of Saruman in the last climactic chapter of The Return of the King. Peregrine Took, more commonly known as Pippin, was a hobbit of the Shire and one of Frodo Baggins' youngest but closest friends. He was a member of the Fellowship of the Ring and later became the 32nd Thane of the Shire. Gollum and the Circus, originally known as Smeagol, one of the 3 early hobbit types. The name Gollum was derived from the sound of his disgusting gurgling, choking cow. At the time of his death, Smeagol was about 589 years old. Gimli John Rhys Davies was a well-respected dwarf warrior in Middle-earth during the Great Years. He was a member of the Fellowship of the Ring and was the only one of the dwarves to really fight alongside elves in the war against Sauron. Shortcut Jed Brophy was the veteran orc from Isengard leading Saruman's war riders. He only appears in the film adaptation of The Two Towers, aged in the film 38, now 56. Theoden, Bernard Hill, was the 17th king of Rohan and last of the second line of the royal house of Eorl. Theoden led the Rohirrim to the aid of Gondor, and the Battle of the Pelennor Fields bravely charging the legions of Sauron. Beard of Mary Brandybuck, Mary, Dominic Monaghan, was a hobbit and one of Frodo's cousins and closest friends. He loved boats and ponies and had a great interest in the maps of Middle-earth. Age in the film 25, now 43. Bilbo Baggins, Ian Holm, was a hobbit of the Shire. Bilbo was also one of the bearers of the One Ring, and the first to voluntarily give it up, although with some difficulty. He wrote many of his adventures in a book he called There and Back Again. Eowyn, Miranda Otto, was a shield maiden of Rohan, daughter of Eomer and Theodwyn, youngest sister of Eomer and niece of King Theoden. After the War of the Ring, she married Faramir and had one son with him, Elberon. Then she was 35, now 52. Sauron, Sarah Baker, is depicted as an almost godlike entity. Sauron bred immense armies of orcs and allied with and enslaved men from the east and south. He gathered his most terrifying servants, the Nazgûl, or Ringwraith. Saruman, Wizard. Originally, he was the chief of the wizards and of the White Council that opposed Sauron. His extensive studies of dark magic, however, eventually led him to desire the One Ring, portrayed by actor Christopher Lee. Gamlen served as Theoden's primary bodyguard and attendant. He guards Theoden in his armor. What counsel he can to his troubled king, but his words provide little comfort, portrayed by New Zealand actor Chris Hopkins. Elrond, half-elven Lord of Rivendell, was one of the mighty elf rulers. Elrond was a skillful warrior in battle and had commanded warriors' armies of the Free People's Well, including the Lost Alliance, portrayed by actor Hugo Weaving. Madril, John Back, was both an advisor and a second-in-command to Faramir. He was with Faramir when Sam and Frodo were captured by his men. When Faramir decided to let them go, Madril reminded him that if he failed to deliver the ring to Gondor. Haldir, Craig Parker, was an elf of Lothlorien, probably a Sylvan elf, and a March Warden who guarded the forest's northern border. When the Fellowship of the Ring arrived in Lorien, he became their guide to Paris Galathon. Ugluk was the leader of the Uruk-hai who were sent from Isengard to pursue the Fellowship of the Ring in T-39. On the orders from Saruman, Ugluk's company set out towards Isengard, portrayed by actor Nathaniel Lees. Eomer was a man of Rohan, and the eventual 18th king of Rohan, and first of the third line of their kings. In the last decades of the War of the Ring, Eomer was the Marshal of the Mark, portrayed by actor Carl Urban. Celeborn, Martin Sokos, was the Lord of Lothlorien and the husband of Galadriel. He was said to be one of the wisest elves. During the War of the Ring, Celeborn defended Lothlorien and led the assault on the enemy castle of Dol Guldur. Lurtz was the first leader of the Uruk-hai. He was portrayed by New Zealand actor Lawrence McCord in the first film, Fellowship of the Ring, in which he kills Boromir and is later slain by Aragorn. Age in the movie 33, now 52. Callum Grittings was a young boy of Rohan, estimated to be around 14 years old, who is forced to fight at the Battle of Helm's Deep. Callum's only appearance is at Helm's Deep, where he was a dream conversation with Aragorn. During the War of the Ring, Greta and her older brother Ithane was sent by their mother to alert King Theoden that the wild men were raiding through Rohan. Olivia Tennant portrays Greta. Rishnak was an orc captain of Mordor who led a host of orcs to join the Uruk-hai who were taking Merry and Pippin across Rohan to Isengard, portrayed by Stephen York. Hama, John Lee, was a man of Rohan and captain of Théoden's Guard. He disarmed Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli, but against the king's orders permitted Gandalf to keep his staff. Hama was present at the Battle of the Hornburg. Borwen, played by Robin Malcolm in the film The Two Towers. She is the mother of Freda and Eothen. When Saruman's army of the Uruk-hai invaded Rohan, Morwen decided to send her children away. She set them on a horse and set them to safety. Denethor II, John Noble, was the 26th ruling steward of Gondor and father of the War of the Ring heroes Boromir and Faramir. Denethor II ruled as the steward of Gondor for 35 years. He committed suicide. Arwen, Liv Tyler, was the half-elven daughter of Elrond and Celebrimbor. After the War of the Ring, she became queen of the reunited kingdom of Arnor and Gondor. She united elf and man in love and harmony, in the process becoming mortal. Gothmog, Lawrence McCor, was the lieutenant of the Witch King. In response to the arrival of the Rohirrim, he called his army's reserve out to Osgiliath and into the main battle, and brought Easterlings and Trollmen into the fray. Figwit, Brad Mackenzie, is seen in the first movie during the Council of Elrond. He sits next to Aragorn until they all stand up to argue. After Frodo shouts, "I will take it," and everyone turns and looks at him, Figwit is standing on the far right. Faramir, David Wenham, was son of Denethor II and the younger brother of Boromir. He was the captain of the Rangers in Ithilien and captain of the White Tower. After the War of the Ring, Faramir became the first prince of Ithilien. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please share it on social networks, like it, and of course subscribe to the channel.